Hi, welcome to Think Tech. We are raising awareness on technology, energy, diversity, and globalism. I'm Donna Blanchard, the proud host and managing director of Kumukuhua Theater, and you're joining us for Center Stage. We're coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, very near Kumukuhua Theater. I have the awesome job today of introducing you to three wonderful people who are responsible for putting together a web series produced here in Hawaii called, I forgot the name of the show, called Paradise Justice. That was an awesome way to open, Paradise Justice. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Shawn McBride.
Hi.
Cheyenne Hernandez.
Hello.
And David Sikkink.
Right.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
show.
Thank you.
This is a really, I have so many questions for you, I barely know where to start. Shawn, you are the creator, producer, director.
That's great.
Can you tell us what Paradise Justice is?
Paradise Justice is an interesting journey where you follow 4 cops, and they all have backstories, and so you see how their job has taken a toll on their life, their personal life, because they're undercover. And I wanted, this concept came about years ago when I actually was working in law enforcement. And I think these guys are untold heroes that you don't really understand what they go through and some of the sacrifices they make. So this is a fictional story, though. And so it's based on that, but then it's surrounded by so many amazing other, you have the European mob side of it, you have the Asian mob side of it, and then you have the upper echelon, upper brass of police. So it's just this intermingled, wonderful, kind of delightful tale, but it is a little edgy, it is edgy, I will say.
Okay.
Yeah.
With more of like a PG-13?
Yeah. I mean, there is some language, and then we're aware of it, and so we've tried to condense it. We don't want it to come across. But when I say edgy, I mean that some of the content, there's weapon use, and then there's fighting, and then of course, you have these crime bosses on one side and the other, and they're not all good, Some of them are bad and some of them are good, And honestly, though, for you to be able to go in and deal with these kind of, I guess these kind of thugs or this kind of organized crime, you have to be a little bit jaded yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So, you couldn't put your true blue, perfect officer, and put him undercover. He wouldn't last, a night, So I guess that's what it's about. Initially is how it started, but the concept just grew, and so many amazing people got involved, and then it turned into something that it has 80 plus cast and crew members.
Oh, wow.
And so all different walks of life, all different backgrounds.
Okay, we should say this is a web series.
This is a web series.
And why did you choose to go that route?
I think the web series allows, it kind of gives me the play because what I really wanted to do was have this more of like a soap opera. It plays out where you're watching, 1 minute you're seeing what's going on with this, then it's flipping to this, and it kind of holds you, and at the end, it kind of stops you, like, oh my God, I want to see what's going to happen next, and then you got to wait for the next episode. Plus, too, when you start a project such as this, and I'd say ours was ambitious because we chose to do 13 episodes for the first season. So, if things go well after the first season, then that leads into a possible second season. Where if you just did a feature, feature beginning to start and then you're done. Mm-hmm. So this has the potential of continuance, and then also too, if, and I'm not saying this would happen, but if, to pull off a production like this, sometimes you might get 75% through, and then you may just have to put it out at that point and see how it's received by the public.
Sure.
So it kind of gives you wiggle room to do some of that with a web series,
How many episodes are in the can?
I would say right now that unedited, we have about 6 to 7 episodes done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with, like I said, the anticipation of 13, but some of our larger days are up ahead. And, you have these huge, big fight scenes, weapon scenes, and, choreographed fighting and stuff of this nature, and then there's visual and special effects that have to be added in. So, you know, it's ambitious for us to go after some of this stuff, and that's what I think that's what we need to help with, because it's costly, you know, to do that. Just to put in the visual effects of weapons fire and things of that, or explosion or whatever, you know, it's hard to find good, you know, there is no cheap visual effects, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's one reason for funding, one of many. Another reason that we chose the web series is interesting too, is it was based on the actors. Because we had several union SAG actors, and they would have been exempt from this project if we didn't get it SAG sanctioned. So the, you know, episodic web series allowed us that venue. So what we did, we said, we don't want to exclude these actors, so we'll go ahead and go this route also. That way they could be part of this too. So, you know, that's another reason why it came out to be. And we have some amazing actors that are union, that are in this, that are just doing a great job for us. Yeah.
Well, Cheyenne, let me ask you, how long have you been involved in the project?
I've been involved with Paradise Justice for a few months now. I just kind of jumped on board recently.
Oh, okay. Is it a new character that was developed?
The character was there all along. And honestly, we had a very difficult time casting the role. We had a lot of people that were interested. We had a lot of people read for it. We had a lot of people audition for it. And the character is Nina, and then she's also Jade. So she's two, because she's undercover. So she, without giving up too much, she is the love interest to the crime boss when she's undercover. So, but she's also an undercover not internal affairs, I'm sorry, ATF agent. So, you know, she has the cop side of her, so in her cop light, she's serious, you know, kick butt, weapons and stuff. And then, you know, to pull off, to be the love interest, she's got to play that part and, you know, woo him in his heart and get in. But, you know, but she's trusted by just about everyone except for the crime boss's sister. They have issues, you know. So she has a tough job, you know. And what is it? You say you have to be bipolar?
Yeah, I have to be bipolar.
That must be so much fun playing a role
It
like
honestly
that.
is, because when I first came and I first met his wife, Dee, who's going to cast me, she was looking for, I didn't know what she was looking for at the time. So I just kind of was like, well, I'll just go as myself. So I had my Hulk shirt, no makeup on, my hair in a ponytail, you know, I'm like eating in one hand and totally, like, it's just bad. And so I show up and she's like, that's Nina. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she starts telling me, but can you be the complete opposite? You need to be glamorous, you need to be flirty. And I was like, because I'm in the Army, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot.
like Army people don't flirt. They're mutually exclusive.
No, this is like, normally I'm at work like,
To pull off the glamour side, because she's kind of a tomboy, you know, and like, but that's great though, because when we do the weapon stuff and the action stuff and everything, you know, you have that element also. So, you know, that's why she fits for the role. She really does. She can pull both sides off.
It must be, it never occurred to me that there would be people here, active military here, who also are pursuing an acting career. Are you with an agency? Is that how you ended up finding this?
I'm currently looking for one that just kind of fits me a little bit. I've already asked a few questions, looked around, but it's just right now it's just really hard being in the military and doing this. So people are always asking me, how do you do both? And I'm like, I spend my weekends wisely. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's hard, but it's all worth it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm chasing my dreams. You know, it's like I have the medic side of me, and then I have the actor side of me, and nobody really knows how they mesh well, but somehow it works.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then you get to play these dual roles, so you are like tripolar.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Tripolar.
I'm really awkward too, so I remember one time his wife, when they were trying to get me to kind of be flirty on camera, she was like, well, what would you say to impress a guy? And I kind of froze up. She's like, well, and I'm just like, you want to see me take apart my weapon and put it back together? She's like, no.
That's not gonna work.
Depends on the guy.
Yeah.
That might be a real turn on for.
If you have the Navy SEAL type, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to mention that several of our cast and crew are all either public service members or veterans or military. We have a lot of that, you know what I mean? So we have guys that are police officers, active police officers, guys that were police officers, military, active military, obviously, that are still in, and some that are veterans. So, you know, and then we actually have some guys that are going to help us with our weapon movements that are active military and active HPD and stuff that make sure that we are, you know, even though a lot of us have done it, but, you know, even just to brush up and make sure our movements are good at that.
Maybe
So,
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So you pulled your talent. Well, I've been involved in shows where people are playing military, and we had to bring in someone to coach them from, you know, ground zero, nothing.
Sure.
So you were actually able to pull in some people who had that experience.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Some lifelong friends. I was in the military myself, in the Army, in the 101st Airborne. So, you know, made great relationships. And one of my good buddies, Felice Rapati, shout out Felice. He just retired from Schofield. So he's one of the guys that is come in and like help us do our weapon movements and stuff like that. So and he's excited about it. And he's never really, although he's done it in, you know, a live theater or whatever, you know, he's never had a chance to. And at first he was a little standoffish of it, but then I think when he got the excitement of it, you know, he was excited to come help us, you know, and do that. And we also have some HPD officers that are actors. We actually have one, and then we have a couple of guys that are federal law enforcement and sheriff's department. So, you know, and then these guys help with, you know, we have a lot of prop weapons and stuff like that. So,
Awesome.
And I'm a former law enforcement officer too. So
Yeah, so you have that.
yeah, you have all that.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Well, we're going to go on our break, but you are going to get to see the trailer for Paradise Justice. Enjoy.
Cool.
Guess what? ThinkTech has more than tech and energy and diversification and globalism. We believe in improving the quality of life here in these islands, improving our society, and that includes building the arts. So we have a program coming up on October 27th at the Anthology Theater in Bishop Square called Hawaii, the State of the Arts. It's a double entendre. And we mean to investigate inspiration for everyone. We mean to ask the question, how can we best survive and thrive the arts in Hawaii, making a great state? A great state deserves great art, and great art is indicative of a great state. So we have 7 panelists in this downtown forum. We have Jonathan Parrish of the Hawaii Symphony Orchestra, Simon Crookall of Hawaii Opera Theater, Dina Dre of Diamond Head Theater. We have Pamela Taylor Tong of Ballet Hawaii, Stephen Yost of the Hawaii Museum of Art. We have Yukio Ozaki, potter at Chaminade University. We have Gerard Elmore, a filmmaker at the Academy for Creative Media. We have a great panel. This will be a great discussion. You will find out what the state of the arts is here, what excellence we have achieved, and what excellence we are looking for. The ways we can survive the arts, the audience, the reach, the export, if you will, of our talent and our arts. Come down next Tuesday, October 27th, and see what happens with our panel. Sign up on thinktechhawaii.com. We'll see you there.
In the middle of the Pacific, there is an island said to be paradise. Its beauty and culture are mystical. For those that are receptive to the Aina, the land, their souls are at peace. But for others, the world gets in the way.
Aloha, Yori. Welcome to my island interrogation room.
You guys can't do this. You guys are cops.
LT, what's up?
Saw Murph inside. He looks way freaked out.
Sit down. Your team is probably the most dysfunctional team I've ever worked with. So, the way you do things...
We can't afford to take Stone or his crew off the street right now.
Have you been experiencing any high levels of stress lately?
Yori, either you pull that trigger or you give me what I want.
What about your coworkers?
You threw me to the wolves, and you sat back and watched.
Let me get this straight. I'm just supposed to come down here and see you, tell you all the bad that I did, and you're supposed to make it all go away.
Mike, this isn't gonna work unless you open up to me.
You want to look into my world? Fine.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hey Billy, aren't you tired of all this?
Tired of what? You're living in paradise, man.
Hi, we're back, we're live, and this is Center Stage on the Think Tech Digital Series. If you would ever like to join us in the studio for one of the shows, you may just email jay@thinktechhawaii.com and we will hook you up. We are talking with people from Paradise Justice, that awesome, you just saw the awesome clip for it. A lot of people I recognize and know to be quite talented in there. You've got a nice pool of people.
Yes, yes. You mentioned Alan Kubo. Alan is amazing. You know, I've said before, when Alan comes in, he just commands the room. And you know, we give him so much respect, you know, and I mean, he's just, he really came in and even outshined. And, you know, some of our younger actors, they were running lines and they couldn't remember, and Alan came in and was flawless. And he had this long dialogue scene, and it was just amazing to watch him work.
Yeah.
He's great.
Alan knows what he's doing.
He does.
He is a consummate professional.
And he's had some appearances on H50. He's had a few.
And
there.
Lost.
Yeah, Lost.
Yeah. David, you're awfully quiet over there. How long have you been involved in the show?
About a month and a half or so. Shawn was looking for somebody to play a thug, and of course he called me. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
For some reason, when I look at you, I don't. Thug
You
is
don't
not the
think
first
thug.
word
Yeah.
that.
Well,
comes to mind.
let's clarify. It's organized crime.
Organized.
From
I'm sorry.
the
Organized
European.
crime.
Okay.
They can be thug, but they're very businessy thug. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm actually part of the European faction.
Yes.
And my boss Marco is the head guy, and I'm his right-hand man, and I take care of business for him.
Ooh, nice. That's a lot of fun to do.
Oh yeah, bad guys. You know, you think, oh, I don't want to play a bad guy, but bad guys are actually a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
There's a lot to them, and there's a lot more dimension that you'd have than just a regular straight good guy or hero.
Right. And well, and you have to justify why you're doing
Why
what
you're
you're
doing
doing.
it, right.
You know.
Right.
You didn't wake up and decide I'm going to be bad.
Right.
That makes it fun. What kind of acting experience did you have before that you got? Because this is not your day job. What's your day job?
My day job, I'm actually with the state of Hawaii. I work as the administrator of the Ford Trade Zone. I'm very well acquainted with Jay and his crew here. So I've been on several times on Think Tech before. But I have a long acting history. I started, when I was probably before junior high school. I was with the Minneapolis Children's Theater Company. And I was you ever see the television show Fame?
Yes.
Very similar to that. We would go to school in the morning, in the afternoon it was all theater classes. So it was, you know, anything from acting to dance to improvisation to anything you can think of, mime, when it comes to theater and doing theater. So I did that from probably junior high school all the way through high school. Went on to do radio for about 10 years. And then after that, I got a real job. Thought I was, do something other than starve to death. So I got a real job, and then went on to do acting once I moved here to Hawaii. Again, I wanted to reclaim that part of my history, and so I started acting again.
Oh, and you have a real job.
I do. Yes, yes, I do. You do it a lot on the side, or you take time off to do it. I've been in many of the local productions here at 50. I'm a SAG-AFTRA actor, so I was very happy that this was a SAG production so I could participate in it.
Yeah.
Oh. And everyone involved in the show it lives here?
Yes, yes.
This is what I heard.
Yeah, we have we have had a lot of requests for people, and not that we didn't want to accommodate that, but we are very much wanting to showcase that Hawaii has great talent, and it really does. And we're very blessed that, you know, we get opportunities to go on Hawaii 5-0, and, you know, but it's very difficult to get a lead or a speaking role at that level. The major productions come in, and all of us go, and we get casted as extras, and it's great because you're on the big sets, and you learn good set etiquette, and then you're be a part of it, and you feel like, wow, I'm part of the movies. But then it's that, wait, pause it, you know, there I am for 3 seconds, you know. So, you know, so when you have that going on, I don't really think you get the opportunity to showcase, you know, your ability as an actor. You know, and then what we've tried to do is say, hey, you know, there are some great actors here in Hawaii that can really, you know, command, you know, their scenes, and they really work hard at it. You know, like David just said, I mean, they go to work and they get a couple hours of sleep, and they come in and they take days off, and we film on the weekends and we film in between. And I mean, there's, you know, it's not a huge budget in production, so everybody's getting props together and uniform and makeup. It's all got to be done within the team of what you have. So it's not all uncommon for an actor on our set to be acting, and then maybe after their scene is done to, you know, turn into a sound person or a lighting person or helping with equipment. I mean, and we all do this, and it's just great though. But there are a lot of amazing independent filmmakers that are here. And I'll just throw one out. Edo Natasha, he did Popolo. I don't know if you were aware of that one. It was a great project. And one of the actors there, and then their concept was, you know what, we wanted to be brave enough to step out so that other people would be brave enough to, you know, follow their dreams and create, you know, their series or whatever. And we in turn say this, I hope nothing more than maybe a few, if not all, of my 80 plus would be brave enough to say, you know what, I've had this concept, I've had something I wanted to do, and you know what, if Shawn could do it, if Etta could do it, you know, if Nick could do it, you know, there's Seed, there's another, and like, I want to do it. So perhaps we're birthing, you know, great production.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds like you're engendering that. None of you are from here originally, but you've been here for a while and experienced the market.
Just to add on what Shawn had talked about, I mean, at the core of us, we are storytellers. And when we get the chance to tell a story, whether it's through production or acting or, you know, whatever you do, that's key to us. You know, for me, it's not so much the acting, it's more about the ability to tell story, to be able to bring together an idea as a collaborative team. And that's the whole thing with filmmaking, is that it's very collaborative. You cannot make it by yourself, so you have to do it as a collaborative team. And if you can tell that story and get the opportunity to act or be part of that story, that's really key to us.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, we're going to head into our second break, and we've got a clip that we can show Zuri, I believe, when we come back from that break. That sound cool? Okay. All right, we'll be right back. Stay put.
Aloha, my name is Josh Green. I'm a senator from the Big Island. I work in the ER there. But on Tuesday afternoons, I get to come and spend 45 minutes to an hour with Jay Fidel and the Think Tech staff. They're terrific professionals. They help us to bring some of the leading cutting-edge topics here across our state to you. So you can join us at our show on healthcare in Hawaii to talk with leaders from across all the spectrum of health in our state, or you can join us for any other show where we talk about economic development or tourism or some really eclectic programs too. So really, we'd love to see you here on our show. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for supporting us.
Oh, okay. All right. Hang on. I gotta pull in. Oh my gosh. Did you just hit a trash can? Hey, baby. That's not the only thing I'm gonna hit tonight. Oh! Stop. What I meant, I'm a gentleman. I meant to say, I'm just gonna knock on your door. Knock. All right?
Who's knocking?
Oh, the big bad wolf is gonna huff and puff and blow your house down, and I'm gonna make it rain. I hope you like $100 bills.
Oh yeah, I like $100.
How about $1 bills?
Nah,
I'm gonna make it drizzle with the ones. Don't judge me, all right? Wait right there. I'm gonna open your door. Okay, come on. Watch me, watch me, watch me win. Watch me, baby. We gotta be quiet. We got the neighbors. Come on. Oh,
You're a little drunk.
I think we have too much to drink. I got you.
Hey, are you gonna leave the trash there?
Don't worry about the trash, all right? I just want to make sure that you're safe, okay? All right. Oh, what the? Hey, guys, come on, take it easy. Relax, man. Relax, guys. You just knocked out my girlfriend. What the hell?
Don't play with us, man. Marco wants his money.
I don't have any money for Marco. Guys, you got the wrong guy.
We've got the right guy, Dan. You vouched for Kalani.
Look, I don't control anything Kalani does, all right? I don't get involved with anything like that, okay? Just take it easy, guys. Take it easy.
Listen,
come on.
Somebody's gotta pay.
What about the girl?
Leave her. She never saw anything.
Hi, we're back and we're live. This is Center Stage on the Think Tech Digital Series. We are coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, which is very near Kumukuhua Theater, if you ever wanted to check that out. I am talking with the director, creator, an actor of the show, as well as two other actors from Paradise Justice, which is a web series. And where are you? Okay, so you've got 6 or 7 episodes, pretty well done, but they're not airing yet.
Yeah, no. We have them shot in the raw. They're not edited, so we haven't gone to post on them. So yeah, and so I would kind of say 50% of what we achieve to shoot, and everything at this point has been independently funded by my wife and I.
Oh.
So, it's costly, so we're getting to that point. Obviously, that's why we had to, try and attempt to do an Indiegogo that is big. That's where our funding for this film to continue the film will come from. And I mean, inevitably, we will still find a way to do it, but it's tough to pull it off.
I bet. And do you hope to eventually, how do you hope to monetize this? To have sponsors on the...
Some of those concepts have come up and we've considered it. Initially, it will be released for free. We will release it. We have a web page that it will be released on, so everyone, we don't want to hold it back. We want everyone to see it. And, so it will be released to the public. And then after that, there are some different venues and some different options. Even potentially cutting a feature out of it is there. So, right now, maybe it's, foolish not to think about all that, but right now we're just so excited about the creativeness of it and all the great people that are involved in it and the momentum, and we're making, like David said, we're telling a story.
Yeah. So can we back up on that story for you? You were, have you written anything like this before?
Well, I've been writing for about the past 10 years. And I started writing I had some shorts that I wrote, and it got more creative, and then this story was one of the concepts, or at least the character of Mike Stone. And then so as it built, and I was writing Paradise Justice 3 years before I ever started shooting it.
When you say you were writing before, were you writing just for the enjoyment, or were you actually writing things that you were producing?
It was for the enjoyment, and then it occurred, this is possibly something that we would like to produce, and I pitched it to several other directors, and they were interested in it. And but they were kind of like where I'm at. They were doing their own independent films and overwhelmed. So I kept getting great concept. I'm sure it'll be great, but we really can't help right now. And it was frustrating because the story was there, and I wanted to tell it. And like I said, eventually we just said, we have to learn all this ourselves. and we have to, you know, have all the relationships with the other, you know, actors and cast and crew, and let's just go for it and let's build. And it did. It started and the momentum got going, and then by some blessing we got all the help we needed, and then, you know, now we're producing what you just saw, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it's great. It's good. I mean, people have no idea how cool it's going to be, but, you know, we want them to know.
That was a big leap for you. So somewhere along the
Huge.
line, you said, okay, now I've written all this and I want to do something with it. And you said to your wife, hun, because you're from the South.
Yeah.
So you probably said, hun.
Honey, we're going to take all our savings and put it in this money in this movie, and I'm not crazy.
You laugh, but that's how they talk. When they're
No,
not here,
yeah.
that's how they talk.
I know they do.
You know, no, I said, you know, at first, because it was a joint, she writes with me too. So she was about it, and she said, you know what, if we need to fund it, and you know, I am from the South, and we have a great work ethic. I mean, we're raised that way. So I said, you know what, let's show everybody we're serious, and we'll put our own money in it. And I said, we'll go out and do it, and we'll get the people involved in it, and then, you know, we've done 6 months of it, you know. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you the figure, but there's a decent figure amount of money that's already been put in it. But you know what? I wouldn't go back and trade it for anything, because we have, if you could just see our 80 cast and crew, and I mean, yes, the 3 of us are not originally from here, but many of our cast and crew are. And it's just exactly the concept of Hawaii. You have all these different nationalities and all these people that come from all walks of life, and we get together and we're laughing and we're joking and we're talking story and we're high-fiving on set, and we have fun sets. And I have other directors and producers, and like, Shawn, how do you have such a huge base and everything? And I said, because I'm an actor's director, because I'm an actor, and I know how to take the time to sit down with an actor and say, how do you want to portray yourself in this role? You know, this is your moment to shine, you know what I mean? And let's just have fun with it. Let's don't make it all stress, you know, and let's just go for it. And you see it, we have a great time.
David, how does he really shine as a director?
He does a great job. I've seen several occasions where the actor's struggling. They're not there. And Shawn will stop them. He'll sit down, talk with them a little bit, say, okay, what can we do to bring this character forward? What do you need? What do you think's behind this? And a couple days later, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That's the wonderful part about this, is that we are doing this locally. These are people in Hawaii. These aren't from LA. These aren't from, you know, anywhere else in the world. They're right here, and they're making, you know, I would say, world-class production right here. That's amazing. Not amazing to me, but I love to see that happen, because I think that's really where we as Hawaii need to focus. We can wait for productions to come here, or we can make them ourselves. And I think with the web, you've got a beautiful opportunity to put your story out on the web.
Oh yeah, to deliver
to the world.
And yeah, it's a real blow for actors to not even be able to audition for a lead when a project comes here. Mm-hmm. That's rough, and it's kind of a smack in the face too. Mm-hmm. If someone's saying, I have auditioned people here and I cannot find what I need, you know, then okay, but that's not the case. So kudos to you for doing that.
We try to show our respect for the big sets and the major productions, but it's constant buzz between all the actors on the island. Every time there's a major production here, they're all saying, maybe if I just had a chance to read for a part or showcase what I have. And, you know, and they do get called, but they're going to be an extra or a featured extra. And, you know, and that's great, because we all love it so much that we want to be part of it. And even when you're a dot in a whole sea of people, you're still proud of that.
You're still looking for your dot.
Yeah, you're still looking for your dot. You're right. You're still pausing it, you know. And so, but if you don't create it yourself, if you're not brave enough, and I say brave enough because when you look at everything that you will go up against when you want to start this, when you look at no budget, I mean, you guys have some great equipment here, and so you know just with this lighting and this camera equipment, how much money you have right here. Yeah. So if you want to produce something and you want it shot well, and you want your cinematography and your audio and all that, it's costly. So you have to have the proper equipment, you know, or it's going to come across, you know, I don't know, like somebody took their cell phone and made something in the backyard, or, you know. So, you know, all these things start to pile up, and then you know, location, you know, there's not a lot of locations. They're kind of closed out, so you have to ask people for favors, or a lot of us use our jobs or whatever to let us shoot on private property and things of this nature or whatever, so that we can have sites. And then the rest of the world wants to see beautiful Hawaii, because Hawaii in itself is a prop. So we try to find ways to do that. And I mean, the list goes on. I could sit here and talk another hour about all the huge, like, I don't know, walls that would keep you from doing it.
Yeah.
But if you somehow get past that and let the creativity and the art form of what we do and the desire to tell a story and just see people come together, then you can do it. And we want to help others do it.
Yeah. Help inspire.
The equipment that we gain through this, the knowledge that we gain through this, the pool of actors that we have, just out of our trailer, we've already had one girl book a commercial, a paying gig. We've had 2 other directors call up and say, hey, you know, same level, they're doing stuff, and say, hey, send me some actors because we need some. And, you know, and it seems to be opportunity after opportunity coming for many of our actors already. And this is just off of a trailer and a little bit of social media. So imagine when the Paradise Justice airs, their opportunities are endless, you know, because we're not just putting it out to Hawaii, we're putting it out to the world. To the world. World, look out, Paradise Justice is coming.
We're coming.
Maybe.
How did you start acting?
Well, honestly, okay, you look at little kids and you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they're like, a princess, a rock star. I wanted to be a pirate. So I really wanted to be a pirate. And so I remember one time, me and my brothers, we went to the movies, and it was Pirates of the Caribbean. And I was like, wow, they get to be pirates. And I was like, wow, I guess it could be a lot of things. So ever since then, my brother Isaiah and I were like, we're going to be actors. Like one day we're going to be on that screen. We're going to be superstars. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. And then I joined the Army, and then he joined the Army. And 2 weeks before he was supposed to leave, him and my other brother and his girlfriend were all killed by a drunk driver. This was past Christmas Eve. And so I just kind of like looked at it and I was like, all right, Ice, I'm gonna do it. I kind of feel like I have our dreams now and we're gonna take it, you know? So I auditioned for this other short film, The Cleaner Than the Dead Man, and I tripped walking in. And they started laughing, and I was like, okay, like just play this off. And then I can make myself cry, like
oh, cute.
I just have to kind of close my eyes for a little bit, think about something, and then I'll just start crying. And so for The Cleaner Than the Dead Man, it was supposed to be a sad scene, and so I just started crying. Like I was sobbing, I was just a hot mess, just bad. And so they were like, all right, you got it. So I was like, okay, cool. And so I did that, and then I was like, all right, where else can I take this? And Wes
Cortez.
Yeah, Wes Cortez. He was in The Cleaner Than the Dead Man with me, and he called me up a few months after we filmed, and he was like, hey, the Paradise Justice, the show that I'm working on, they're looking for just another cop to play. And I was like, okay, cool, like I'll go be a cop. And then so his wife messaged me, and she's like, okay, send me a reel or anything that you have. So I just kind of sent her, because I love accents, and I do all kinds of different accents all the time. And they actually get really annoyed with it, because they'll start trying to get...
But we all do them. We all do that. And then what happens is we'll all start doing the accents. So we have like 15 different ones.
Yeah.
So then it's like becomes this crazy thing where all day we're doing accents and playing around.
And then you got to shoot.
And then we got to shoot and cut the
What's my
accents
accent
off.
here?
Well, it starts with his wife trying to get because I mean, it's 80 people. It's a lot of people to kind of wrangle in. So she's like, you over here, over here, over here. And then everybody's doing their own thing. So I'm kind of like following her on her heels. And I'm just like repeating everything she says. So she'll say something, and then I'll be like, yeah, it's like wrangling cats around here. And it's because they have accents. And so she's like, stop it. And then after that, he joins in, and he has a country accent, and then he comes in with a Russian accent, and then it's
and then we got island guys coming in like with pidgin, and then we'll all be going. It's funny.
Yeah, it's bad. But the reel that I sent her, it was with a British accent, and I was really serious, because I was kind of like a spy in that movie. And then so she was like, no, you're not going to be a cop. And she was like, I have the perfect one for you. And so that's how I got Nina.
That's how you got
And
that.
ironic, she just, and that's just it. Sometimes some people fit a role. You can, and it's nothing to the other actors that show up and do a great job, but sometimes somebody just fits a role, and you can work with them, and you can bring it out, and it's like a raw piece of clay, but you're like, I know I can mold it and get it the way that we want. And
He just called you a raw piece of clay.
yeah, I just called you a raw piece
It's
of
okay,
clay.
I'll put them later. I'm just waiting until we get off of here and he'll get it.
Trust me, it's been worse.
Yeah. But like Wes Cortez, that's a name that came from the Cleaner and the Dead Man. That's another film that's out right now that's being produced, and it's amazing. And it's Hawaii based, and there's a lot of these great actors. And so some of their production comes over to our set. We go to their set. We have, like I said, there's about 4 or 5 independent filmmakers. Seed is another one. There's actually a restaurant named Seed, and they're actually doing this wonderful production that's surrounding it.
Oh, yeah.
And and I ought to put you in touch with some of these other directors, because
That would be awesome.
This is where it's at. That's the venue here in Hawaii that films are being made. And, we all help each other out. I learned this on my set. Send some of your actors over. Hey, our camera guy's down today because, everybody really does work full-time jobs. So you might, and then you're trying to coordinate and see who you can get or whatever. Hey, I'll send you my sound guy. And that's when I say we birth another. If you don't, my project's edgy, right? But I think if you look past that, I think if you say, I kind of dig Shawn's project, but it's not my cup of tea, or I dig this person's. But you got to think of past, what are you doing for Hawaii's actors?
For all of us.
To help, because each one is happening down the line, what even may grow from that.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Hollywood hasn't seen yet, is that we as a group of actors and producers, writers, directors, are really growing a good base of talent. That talent is exploding here, and we're waiting for Hollywood to come and say, oh, let's try you for that read. I think, because I guarantee they come here and they say, you know what, we don't think the talent's here. But I would disagree with that. It is
need
here.
to know that
We
it
just
is.
have to have that chance.
Okay, we need to wrap up. So you tell us how we find information about Paradise Justice and your Indiegogo campaign.
Yes, okay. So Twitter is @PJusticeHawaii. Our Instagram is @ParadiseJustice808. And then our Facebook is, you can look at facebook.com Paradise Justice, or you can just put in Paradise Justice web series. It'll pop up.
And you'll get all kinds of information.
And please, it's 4 minutes. Our Indiegogo, no matter what, we're going to make this, but our Indiegogo has not been going that great. I'm trying to stay positive, because, I don't understand. I've seen a guy get on there and say, I'm basically just making potato salad, and they gave him $65,000. And I've got 80 people that are so passionate, and we're working so hard, and I don't know if we're just not reaching the right people or whatever, but we really have, we've raised in 10 or 12 days like $600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you were here to share your stories, and all of your stories. And I have to say, I always ask people why you do what you do. Cheyenne, that was the most moving story I've ever heard. And that's what people support, is stories, those stories. So I wish you all the luck in the world with it. I look forward to watching the project grow. Thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I would also like to thank our unsung hero, Dee. She is here. Shawn's wife is with us, and I would like to thank our studio overlord, Zuri Bender, who is in my ear, our floor manager, Sachi Slimoff, who's right over there. Thank you, Sachi. And Jay Fidel, who somehow manages to put it all together. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next week on Center Stage.
They're around all the time. They are into our business. I can't take care of them.
No, Victor. Just stay low. His men, they're mercenaries, and that's make trouble. Our business is good, and we don't need the trouble.